But Marcellus, I'm coming to you first, big dog. Can LeBron carry them Lakers without AD?
No, he cannot carry the Lakers without AD because he is the Lakers and LeBron James. And without AD as that Robin, how is this going to turn out? I'm going to tell you how it's going to turn out. We've already seen samples of this team without Anthony Davis, and everyone's going to get caught up on the surface level. Oh, they're 4-1 without Anthony Davis this season. What you mean he can't carry them? I remind you who they played in those 5 games. The Thunder, the Pistons, the Timberwolves, and Bulls. Combined 36 and 69. That's a 323 win percentage. Boy, I do my homework. Oh, y'all saying, no, it doesn't matter. It's about performance. Forget the outcome. They still perform well. Well, the plus-minus drops 3 without AD on the court. Their field goal percentage drops 3 without AD on the court. And the three-point percentage drops 3 without AD on the court. Oh, it doesn't matter. They still compare to everyone else better and favorably because they're the champions. Points per game this year, you're 13th. That's with AD. Three-point percentage, you're 16th, middle of the pack. That's with AD. 15 turnovers per game, that's 24th. That's with AD. Y'all think any of these numbers going to get better without AD? So I look at this situation. I looked at a team that won in the bubble. And y'all can say an asterisk or not. You know what I think. But it's still the NBA champions. But coming back this year, they're looking at an Anthony Davis that is dealing with a very serious injury. And with that injury, it's going to now put more burden on their 36-year-old superstar LeBron James. That burden will bring an increased workload. That will bring increased issues for all those around. Here's an example. Kyle Kuzma all of a sudden goes from being a proper reserve to now in your starting lineup. Are you really going to put that much pressure on Kyle Kuzma to beat Anthony Davis 2.0? So, no, LeBron James cannot carry this load by himself.
Marcellus, LeBron James can absolutely carry these Lakers. One, he scoffs at the word like burden. Burden. LeBron James can't even spell burden, sir.
Man, don't do that since he didn't go to college.
LeBron, that has nothing to do with that. Has everything to do with his ability. He ain't got to worry about burdens because he overcomes them all. LeBron James, he's in the 25-5-5 club, Marcellus. Can we look at who he's in the 25-5-5 club with? I just want to remind you of how great LeBron is. You see names like Luka, the Joker, KD, Steph, Giannis, etc. But I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that.
What you mean?
I ain't worried about Kawhi. Because after you move on from that club, there's a more exclusive club you have to get into, which several people cannot afford to get into, but Bron, as far as 25-8-8 can. Just Luka and the Joker. I first want to remind you of who LeBron is. Secondly, yes, LeBron can carry the Lakers. It's just a matter of how far. Carry him to the playoffs? Duh. Carry him to a conference championship? Duh. Can he carry him to win another finals? That's the only really thing we should be up here debating. Because think about who's in the West right now. You worried about the Suns sitting in 4th, being led by Devin Booker. Obviously, Chris Paul, one of the best point guards we've ever seen, has had them playing well. But I'm not worried about LeBron James going up against them. I'm not worried about the Clippers. They can't get right.
Boy, stop.
I'm just saying. I'm not worried about these Trailblazers. C.J. McCollum ain't healthy right now. Dame is doing what Dame does. But remember, LeBron James knows when to turn it off, turn it on. He knows how to turn it on. He hasn't had to go full throttle because he's had AD. But even while not going full throttle, hasn't missed a game. 34 minutes a game, 25 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. That's the stat line of a king. That's the stat line of a dude who can carry this team very far.
Amen, Acho, amen. Without question, if LeBron so chooses to carry the Lakers, he's certainly capable of carrying the Lakers. The question is, does he want to? To your point, it's not only how far, but no one is able. LeBron is a scientist when it comes to measuring exactly how much energy he has to exert at any given time. And no one's been better at it, and that's why he has lasted 18 seasons, and he's playing the way that he is at the ripe old age of 36. The question is, what's most important to him at this point? Is it putting himself in the MVP conversation? Because if that's the case, then this is not a setback. This is an opportunity. Because having AD as his number 2 was one of the biggest reasons why he didn't win it last year against Giannis Antetokounmpo. So does he want that? Will he be willing to expend the energy now in order to go after it? Or does he look at the big picture and say, who cares what our record is at the end of the year? There is no such thing as home court advantage as is. I'm just going to bide my time, keep this team rolling in the right direction, and wait until AD gets back. And then we'll close this story the same way we did last year, whether it's a shutdown just for AD or it's a shutdown for us collectively.
Oh, my goodness. What's wrong with the Lakers? No AD. What's wrong with AD? This is not tendinitis, y'all. This is tendinosis. So a little different now for those who don't understand. I'm going to break it down. Shout out to Reggie Hayward, who first hit me to this because my boy had tendinosis in his Achilles and complained every damn day of our football season. And it's a robber, man. It's a thief in the night and in the daytime. Tendinitis is acute. When you have tendinitis, it's a diagnosis for something that happens with a tendons overloaded. Let's talk about tendinosis, though, y'all. When that occurs, two things come to mind. You have either failed in your therapy and your healing process, or you've had repetitive trauma to a tendon. So the fix is different. The first fix for tendinosis is obviously rest. Wonder if you can rest AD. Oh, he's already rested. Came back first quarter, felt great, looked great. Second quarter, got a little kick to the tendon. Boom. What had happened was we're right back where we started. Now, here's why this is the most disturbing part of his process of healing. I've been through this. I was injury prone. I already know it. I mean, I didn't know it in the moment. I kept fighting. And then I realized at the end, I was just injury prone. AD's injury prone as well. You know what his first comment was after this game when they asked him about the injury? He said, yeah, man, I've been having to deal with injuries my entire career. Uh-oh. You know what that means? It's upstairs now. You know what that means? That sixth gear that every athlete needs to go push through those walls is now eroding right before AD's very eyes. Now, this is nothing about LeBron James, y'all. You know I think LeBron James is the GOAT. You know I think LeBron James can do this. But the problem is, who's he going to do it with? Here's the final score. Let's fast forward to the playoffs. Second round, if you want to say that, because y'all say the Clippers can't make the third round. The final score, Los Angeles Clippers, 122. The Los Angeles Lakers, 25. And 8-8, according to Acho. Like, they ain't gonna get it done. Who in the hell is gonna be there with LeBron James to go against squads? Everyone you've mentioned, outside of the injuries up in Portland, everywhere you look, there are squads. Utah, Denver, Clippers. Like, that's enough right there where LeBron James, no matter how he paces himself, and no matter how great he still is, he's going to run into that wall, y'all, and that wall is going to be impossible to scale because he's not going to have any help.
But here the issue, Sal, with the logic. The one, LeBron James trumps most logic, but two, think about it. Who you going to bet on over LeBron James and the Lakers even without AD?
A team?
You going to bet on the young Devin Booker? Is that what you going to do? You going to bet on Jamal Murray? You going to bet on DeMar DeRozan? Like, you want to bet on your Clippers again? You know how much money you lost betting on your Clippers? Stop.
I still got this suit money.
Who you going to bet on against LeBron James and the Lakers still? You know Trez can step up if need be, even though he choked in the playoffs.
Win where? If he can step up, he'll be a Clipper still. What the hell?
But I'm saying, like, when it comes down to it, who you going to bet on? The only person you're going to bet on is your Clippers. A little bit of bias, a lot of it because of that roster appears loaded based on names alone. But I'm still not going to bet on the young, rising, ascending stars of the West, the Bookers, the Murrays of the world, as opposed to LeBron James, who has cemented himself as a great, even when players haven't showed up before. When you look at it all, it still don't matter. I'm riding with LeBron James, knowing he can take his team far. Do I think they can win it all without AD? No, because I think some teams in the East might have enough firepower.
Boom.
But in the West, he can get still very, very far, at least giving AD enough time to get back.
Oh, I love you.
I should have known this wasn't going to last. I was with you, Acho, at the beginning in terms of carrying them and being careful on how far we were saying that he was going to carry them. He's not sniffing a championship without Anthony Davis because they are a distinctly different team defensively without Anthony Davis. I think offensively they can get enough done. And in the short term, they can get enough done. And by the way, we'll get a good litmus test of this because over the next 2 weeks, they play 3 of the top 6 offensively efficient teams in Utah, Brooklyn, and Portland. So how their defense is going to function will get a very good test over the next 2 weeks. But LeBron can keep this ship afloat
it.
again
That's
because
all he
the
needs to
pressure's
do.
not
What you
there.
mean?
And
Where we
nobody's
going on
playing
this shit?
great.
All he needs to do, Slick. I said this. Can LeBron James carry him to a conference championship? Not an NBA
Yes.
one, a conference. Yes, we didn't say AD done died, okay? AD's dealing with tendonitis,
Okay.
tendinosis. Let Dr. Marcellus Wiley tell you. But we got LeBron to sustain until AD can get back.
You are
That's it.
silly. Oh, God. Oh, now I got to cut you. You know what? I don't like when people attack me and my acumen. I don't like it. I get mean. I turn into something else. One of my favorite shows growing up was The Incredible Hulk. I feel like that. David Banner just, let the Hulk out. Isn't it interesting that LeBron averages fewer points per game and shoots a lower percentage, both from the field and three-point percentage, when Anthony Davis is gone? But he's going to carry him. Oh, Acho, how dare you bet on a finger versus a fist? If we fighting a finger, LeBron James, one dude, is not going to beat a fist. The Clippers, beat him down. Let me continue with this.
The Clippers are not a fist. First and foremost.
Open hand then, at least. Give me something. Backhand you. Here we go. Here are the Lakers versus current Western Conference playoff teams this season, since y'all want to talk this noise. Think they got a winning record against those teams? No, they do not. 5-7. And that was with Anthony Davis, y'all. Points per game, 109. All right, good offense. Points per game allowed, 112. Oh, damn. We giving up. Wait a minute. Let me do the math. If we give up more than we get, are we going to win those games? No. Point differential, -40. Acho, you forget where this all started. I give you this nugget again, Slick Rick, because last time I gave it to you, you didn't like it. Since the NBA went to a best of 7 with 4 wins necessary in every round, there have been 18 champions. But guess of those 18 champions, who's given up the highest opponent three-point percentage?
Oh, no.
The highest opponent field goal
Bubble
percentage?
stats again, are we?
And the Lakers allowed the most points per game. They were already a beat-up champion in comparison to other champions. They already started at lower ground than most champions. And now no AD, and Acho wants to come up here vest and all and tell me that this team is going to make a conference championship. 15 more push-ups, Acho. Here they come.